Hey guys, this is Kirby over yonder. I'm a little pissed off right now because this is the second time I've had to record this. Because for some reason the first one I recorded, it just stopped recording like 40 seconds in, and I didn't know until I was finished. So that's fun. Um, so, I'm sorry, excuse my voice. I have a bit of a cold. Um, so, anyways, just yesterday I finished watching the second season of Final Space, um, and yeah, I just want to talk about it. I did talk about season one. I, did a list almost a year ago, on the best cartoons of 2018, and I put Final Space at number one, and, I still think that Final Space is a very good show. In fact, I would call season two an improvement over season one. I I think that this was a very strong season. One thing I wasn't quite a big fan of in season one was that this is more nitpicky, but like the pacing was very fast, so it kind of felt like the show was throwing a bunch of things at you. Well, I think season two is a lot slower. I feel like it doesn't throw as much at you like season one did, which I'm happy about. Um, as for the characters this season, I really like the new characters. I think Fods is pretty funny, and I like Ash. I think she's cool, and I like her powers. Um, I think I really like Gary this season. I know a lot of people really didn't like him in season one. I personally did. I found him to be a very endearing character, even though he was definitely a jerk. I think a part of the show is watching Gary grow and become a better person. So I didn't mind that he was a jerk in season one. Um, but I did really like him this season. I thought that I really liked how he was becoming a better person, and how he was thinking about others outside of himself, but he still maintains a lot of what makes him a fun character to me. Little Kato had a really good season. He goes through so much this season, and like having to kill his dad, basically, not kill, but like harm, um, and of course the episode where we think it takes place 6 years in the future, but it doesn't. That was a very strong Little Kato episode. Um, I um I like Tribor more this season. I wasn't a big fan of him in season one. I didn't really find him to be that funny, but I thought he was pretty funny this season. I liked him. Um, excuse me. Um, he was pretty great this season. I like how he has his own body now, and I love how pathetic he is. He's pretty great. I liked Kevin. I think he's pretty funny. Um, yeah, I think that the characters were very strong this season, and yeah. Also, um, Gary's mom was a pretty interesting character. I I think her first episode was probably my least favorite of the season. It wasn't bad. It was just a little too predictable. Like you know that she's gonna end up going against him. And yeah, it was kind of predictable. But that being said, I did like the ending a lot. I thought the ending was very strong. Um, and yeah, I think my favorite episode of this season was definitely the other side. The episode where it takes place 6 years in the future, or at least we think it does. That twist at the end is so good, and I love seeing all the different characters when they're older, or at least how they will be in Little Kato's mind, I guess. Um, and this is just a really cool sci-fi episode. Definitely the most sci-fi episode of the show. Like, this just feels like a very sci-fi concept. Like, an episode that you'd see in, like, Futurama or Rick and Morty. Um, and, yeah, I really love that one. I also want to give a shout out to episodes 8 and 9, because they're both really strong episodes. Um, I really love the time travel stuff they do in episode 8. I just love time travel stories, and episode 9 has very strong visuals and is very dramatic, and I like that one a lot. I also like the finale of the season. I really enjoyed that one. There's a ton of great visuals. Like, I love the design of Bolo, when he's freed, and, Nightfall's sacrifice was very cool. I think some people weren't a big fan of her sacrificing herself. I personally liked it because it felt like Nightfall is, and she's giving her life because she wasn't able to be with the Gary she wanted to be with, but she's sacrificing herself so that this version of Quinn will be with the Gary that she wants to be with, and I do like that. Also, I feel like it would be kind of awkward to have two different Quinns on the show. So yeah, I liked it. I also like that they bring Avocado back. I'm really excited to see what they do with that, and I love Lil Kato saying, "Oh, my two dads are together now." I I thought that was pretty fun. Also, the scene where Gary and Quinn reunite is just gorgeous. I love the visuals of that scene, and the fact that Gary and Quinn don't even say anything, and just how slow it is. It's a really well done scene, and I love how abruptly it just cuts straight to credits. I thought that was just really cool. And yeah, I really love this season. I think it's very fun, but still very dramatic. I like how Final Space is able to balance those two things. I guess one little nitpick I have with the season, it's not a huge deal, but it kind of feels like there's a bit more crude humor in this season. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the pea fight in the beginning of episode 2. But I still did really enjoy it. It kind of reminds me of what happened to Futurama when it moved from Fox to Comedy Central, where they kind of had more crude jokes too. But it wasn't a huge deal. That's more of a nitpicky thing. Um, yeah, I really love this season, and I think we need more adult cartoons like this. Because I mean, we get a lot of kids cartoons like, Adventure Time and Star Versus and Steven Universe and DuckTales that are more story driven, but we don't get a lot of adult cartoons like that. I mean, there's BoJack and this, but not many. Even Rick and Morty isn't really that story heavy. It's barely even story heavy at all, really. Um, and this and BoJack are really the only couple exceptions I can think of. So hopefully we get more of that. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think this is a very strong season of television, and I think that it is my favorite currently airing cartoon aside from BoJack. And I really love this show, and I cannot wait for season 3. Hopefully it doesn't take a while. Um, but yeah, tell me your thoughts on season 2 in the comments below, and have a good one. Kirby out.